What's up, YouTube? Welcome to one of my drawing videos. So grab your pens, pencils, crayons, or any drawing medium of your choice. And now, let's get to it. Let's draw Huggy Wuggy from Poppy Playtime Chapter 3. But first, let me show you a neat little trick. Hit that wrench logo, go to Drawing Guide, hit Drawing Guide, and hit Symmetry. And done. So now everything you draw on this side will simultaneously draw on this side and vice versa. Now I got my 6B pencil out, and let's go ahead and do our underdrawing. Huggy Wuggy's got his very unique shaped head. It's almost like a crooked triangle almost. We'll just patch it in like so. And I want to go ahead and put his mouth in around there. Then it kind of swoops up and swoops back in. Goes straight down, kind of curve just a hair in there. Looks about right. And the eyes for this one are, honestly, they are just completely blacked out, almost completely absent. So go ahead and retrace out that line for the mouth, just like so. So now you got his balloon animal looking big juicy red lips right there. And he's gonna have a bunch of teeth right there. All right, I'm gonna make that a little bit smaller because I gave myself no room. Go ahead and do a circle for the body right there. And we're gonna just do a very basic pose utilizing the symmetry tool. And let's see, I also wanna pull that face out just a little bit. Oh, that's much better. All right. We're gonna pull some legs out, and I'm just kind of blocking them in. Nothing crazy right now. And even for the arms, there's gonna be a shoulder, and that's where his hands are gonna stick out. And in the game, you'll notice that Huggy Wuggy typically has the plushy looking hands like that. But in this one, he has some really long fingers. So we'll do those in there. And the same with his feet. So we're gonna plug those in right there. Remember, nothing's gotta be perfect when we're doing these underdrawings. You just honestly just getting suggestions of the shape. And then when we go back in, that's when we'll make all the nice line work when we ink it. All right, so we basically have our basic Huggy Wuggy there. Looks already pretty terrifying if you ask me. Go to another layer, but first hit that in. Bring that opacity down. And now let's go to our main layer. And I like to use my technical pen of choice. Oh, don't forget, tap and hit Drawing Assist. So now we'll have the symmetry on that layer. Make sure if you're using the symmetry on each layer, make sure it does have that assist. All right, so now let's go in. Let's definitely start with the lips. And I'm just basically just tracing back over what we just drawn. Like so. And you can do it however you see fit. And now let's connect it. And do it once more for the inside of that lip. I like it. Now for the head shape, I'm gonna do a little bit like these ziggy zaggies to kind of insinuate some hair. You can do it however you want. You can make it smooth, or you can do it just like I'm doing it. All right, now let's connect the head. I like it. And for the eyes, hold it, and it pops into shape. We're gonna go ahead and fill those in with a little bit of drag and drop. Now let's go in for the mouth. Remember, we have this line right here. So we could start right here, and it connects it. Might seem a little thick for a tooth. Right there. And connect that. And now just start working your way around. All these little triangle bits with rounded at the top. Kind of shows like a gum line. This is a super quick little trick there. Don't want to work yourself too hard. And let's just kind of fill that in. So there's a gum in there. Now he does have smaller teeth on the bottom row, which is very interesting considering Huggy Wuggy has a bunch of teeth. and many rows of them. But there's a lot of speculation as to what this form of Huggy really is. And I'm drawing a line behind them to show off the gum line. And I'm just gonna throw it back there. Not sure if he had a tongue or not. We'll just leave it like that. So that probably seems annoying. All right, let's go in for the body. Again, back with my little zigzags, just like so. And we'll go ahead and throw this arm in. I put the shoulder in the back so he's kind of like popping out at you. But again, I'm mainly doing this to show you the usage of the symmetry tool. You can knock out a lot of drawings, or you can knock out drawings really fast. See, so you're not really doubling up on drawing time. So let's go ahead and bring that shoulder to the back. And bring some arms right here. I like that. And I'm gonna throw out some tufts of fur for his hands. All right, now the fun part. I know a lot of people do not like drawing hands, but I actually kind of like drawing hands. So let's see what we come up with following our suggestive drawing. A thumb. And his index. Middle finger. And I guess he doesn't have a ring finger, and a pinky ring finger thing? Who knows? All right, so we got it there. And it also looked like he was stitched up a little bit, so you can even go in with a really thin line, just like that, and kind of insinuate that there's some stitching put together. Throw little lines on the top of those lines. Easy, aesthetic looking stitches. And you can just place them wherever your heart desires. And that's where I'm going to throw mine. Look at that. So much drawing in so little time. And let's do that with the feet. Let me erase a little bit right there. And zigzags, of course. I guess your boy's about to have some spiky knees. And there we go. I'm going to bring that out just like that. And bring that in. Connect for the little huggy butt. And there's his legs. Now, before we continue to the feet, we can also go in. You can bring out some of those lines just to add a little bit of like extra detail to the piece. Kind of give it a little bit of pizzazz or whatever you want to call it. We'll throw a little there. And you can even take just this cute little trick. You would see it like maybe in like a lot of storybooks or something, but you just do like 2 lines here and there. Kind of insinuates like there's some fur going on over here. And just put those wherever you want, if you want them, or even if you don't want them, you don't have to do them. And just throw some little lines in there. Good old Huggy. And throw some lines in there. And throw some for that shoulder back there. We'll throw a few right there. And do that little 2-line trick we just talked about. And I'm gonna throw some right there. But I'm also following, like, I guess like the fur was just going like combed down. You would see a similar effect going on here. So you definitely want to do that. So like with the legs, it's going that way, and the fur is definitely going that way. And the fur is going down this way. And again, if you want to like throw some lines off of those zigzags, you can, just to give it a little bit of extra oomph. Give your drawing a little bit more taste. And that's looking pretty good. Now, I want to go in with these feet real quick. And it might look a little silly going in and out like that, but hey, Huggy Wuggy is pretty silly, and he's so blah, in multiple different directions. So let's go in for 1 toe. Little crooked lines. Let's say that's 1 toe. I'm gonna bring that heel up a little bit. That seems a little bit excessive right there. And let's go for another toe. I didn't like that. Well, that's not too bad. And one more. 4 fingers, 3 toes. Sound good enough? I'm cool with it. And add some tufts of fur to complete the feet. Tie it all in. And let's do that stitching little trick again. All right. Okay, so we already have a layer right there, but we can actually go ahead and you can either swipe and delete, or you can uncheck it and it's gone. All right, before we color, go to the main layer, click it, and hit reference. Now everything you do underneath it will reference back to the top layer. So I'm gonna add a couple layers in there. I'm going to the very bottom, clicking, hit assist. Now let's color Huggy in really quick. Let's take a nice blue. Since he's a little darker, let's give it a little gray tones to it. You can click that continue filling button at the top, just like that. And as long as all your lines are connected, that color will not go out of the lines. Let's get some yellow for those hands. Oh. And for those feet, that bright red there. And I'm gonna bring that red down a little bit. For the, let's go a little bit darker for the inside of that mouth. And maybe a little bit lighter with a little off color to it for the gums. Let's get that little area in between. And look, we missed a line, but that's okay. We'll go back here in a second and fix that right now. Let's go ahead and grab some white, and you can actually just go in and color it. Now, don't be fooled. Those teeth are not colored in white. So what I like to do is to click the background color and turn it off. And now you can see what you have missed. So now let's go in and color. Just knock those little teeth in right there. All right, another thing, the cool trick that I like to do, let's bring that background back, is go a layer, don't forget to assist, turn the opacity on that layer down to about 40, 30, whatever makes you happy. And this is what we're gonna do, is a quick way of shading. And still keep my pen out, thicken it up just a little bit, but since the opacity was turned down, I can basically just shade over this without having to switch back and forth a bunch of different colors. Plus we're using the symmetry technique, so this is gonna make life so much easier. Check this out. It's like a dark blue for the shading. And I'm gonna wisp some of those out, and might help a little bit add some more effect to that fur texture look. And instead of going in different layers, changing colors, see, that opacity really makes life so much easier. Do a little right there. And honestly, at this point, we're not really focused on where the light's coming from. Maybe it's coming from down this way because we are using the symmetry thing, so everything's gonna kind of be like this. But just for aesthetic reasons and just for, let's take artistic liberties. So whatever makes it look good, in your opinion, that is. And I'm sure it's gonna look fantastic. Because I'm sure there's not gonna be some shading here, but it really makes the effect and really sells the drawing. Add a few more little wispies there. See how much better that looks? And you definitely wanna go back under that lip. Maybe hit the tops of those teeth. Let's hit that bottom of that. Maybe even some of the inside of the mouth. Yeah, it's not too shabby. Might hit behind the teeth. And if you're worried, since we are on a whole nother layer, you could go back in and erase where you didn't want it to touch. All right. Now let's do some hands. I keep getting little dots everywhere. just where you think the shadow would go. Because this is just, we're just having fun with this. It's not realistic. It's not realism. So just be fun. The biggest thing is building the confidence and really just enjoying what you're doing. Don't pressure yourself for it to be right. Just have fun. That looks a little wonky right there. Yeah, that's much better. See, the lighting ain't accurate, but the fun is. And we're gonna bring some right there. Bring some right there. And give it some more zigzags. And you definitely want one under it. There's definitely gonna be a shadow there. So you still want some of them to be accurate, but still have a lot of fun with it. So like, let's just bring that. And we know the fur's going down, so make those wispies go down. And let's do one big shadow right there. Follow the hair. And one right there. Follow the hair. Right, see, we are almost done. Knocked out a whole drawing in no time. Another cool little trick, not just using black, but still same layer and go use white. And this can add some highlights. Especially like on certain things like his mouth and stuff. Oops. So you can still go back and fix everything. Don't be scared of it. It's just a drawing. And it's your drawing. Add some spots on the hands. Just some quick little highlights. And I'd say just like that, we drew Huggy Wuggy. I'd love to see how yours turned out, so share with me on Instagram or any social media platform with the hashtag #DrawWithJH. So thank you for joining me today, but until next time, we'll see you then.